You guys, I got a new camera, so we're gonna try something. I got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This is my first time using it, so I hope this video turns out okay. Okay, so today I wanna share with you guys because I got an IUD for the second time, and I wanna talk about my experience, especially from when I first got my IUD to my experience now a second time, and how things have been different, right? I've had 2 babies since that other IUD. So yeah, I wanted to share my experience with you, but I'm also going to be unboxing my new bag. Okay, I'm gonna set down this camera. Let's for now just ignore the background because my bathroom is very messy, but that's okay. This is real life. So yes, I'm gonna be unboxing my new bag that I ordered that I don't need, I understand. But I've been simmering on this for a while, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna get it. And for real this time, you guys, keep me accountable. No more new bags for the foreseeable future, at least for this year. I don't need it. Oh shoot, my microphone. I wonder if it's paired. Okay, I think it is paired. All right. Again, we're just all learning here. This is definitely a learning curve, so hopefully this turns out okay. But let's talk about the IUD while I unbox this bag. Let me just open this box first, then we can chat. Okay, that took forever. My first IUD I got back when I was a second-year resident, so that would have been 2016, 2017, around there. And I was like I said, I was a resident, so I was practicing OBGYN. And I first tried to take birth control pills and very quickly realized I'm not a good pill taker. I just don't like taking pills. I was forgetting to take them, which made my periods irregular. And obviously when you want birth control to work, you want to take it every single day or it's not going to work. So quickly learned that pills were just not the option for me. So I said, you know what, let me try an IUD. I have a history of heavier periods, not really bad cramping, but just a heavy flow. So I said the IUD would be great. I went with the Mirena, which has progesterone in it. And for most, or for a large majority, one of the side effects of the IUD, specifically the Mirena IUD, is lighter periods or your periods completely go away, which is what I was looking for. I was a busy resident, I would bleed through scrubs, and I just obviously didn't want to have to deal with that. So I was like, let's just get the Mirena. So I went to my appointment, obviously with an OBGYN, and as I like to say comically, I just raw dogged it. I didn't take any ibuprofen, I didn't do anything. Back in 2016, there wasn't all these conversations as far as like pain control and offering all of these pain control options for IUD insertions. So I just went into it like, whatever. I don't think even my doctor told me like, oh, take ibuprofen beforehand. Like I just showed up to my appointment and I got it and it was painful. I wouldn't say it was the worst pain of my life, but it was really painful. The most painful part for me was the tenaculum. So the tenaculum is a device that you use to stabilize the cervix. So you grasp the cervix with it and then you insert and then you remove, the little insertion for the device and then you take away the tenaculum. But touching the cervix, especially with a tenaculum, causes so much cramping. For me, in my experience, it felt like a severe menstrual cramp that first time I got my IUD. And from someone, like I said before, I don't have crampy periods, I just have heavy periods. So for me to feel that intense cramp, my eyes were open. I was like, holy crap. If this is what my patients tell me they experience with like endometriosis, even with contractions, right? Because a contraction is just a really strong cramp that needs to get the baby out. I was like, if this is the type of cramping that my patients with endometriosis or whatever other disease are experiencing, absolutely not. And it's not that I wasn't compassionate before, but getting to feel that cramping sensation that I had never felt before, I was like, no, this is debilitating. Like I could not work on my feet all day, feeling this intense cramp all the time, right? So like, one, I'm grateful that I got to experience that because I feel like I can then be a better provider for my patients. Two, I did not like the experience, right? It was crampy. But as soon as the tenaculum was removed, okay, I had to go help our nanny. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. better. So yes, I'm thankful for that experience with the IUD. It was really eye-opening, even though it was painful. After my doctor removed the tenacium from my cervix though, the cramping subsided, and then I would just like get cramps here and there throughout the day. Luckily I didn't have to go back to work after that. So I was able just to sit at home. I remember I got some wine and some chocolates and I watched like Legally Blonde, I think. I just watched like a comforting movie and did like a heat pack over my belly. And then the next day I was back at work and I was fine. Then let's see, I had that IUD in for about 6 years and then I removed it because we were gonna, start trying to have a baby. And the removal was super easy, like a slight little cramp as it was coming out, and that was it. And again, back to normal. I loved my IUD. It fixed my periods, meaning my periods went away. I didn't have a period for about 5.5 years. It took my body about 3 months to like get me to a lighter flow. And then after that, no bleeding. So I didn't bleed for almost 6 years. It was amazing. And then once I got it removed, I had 1 period and then I got pregnant with Nellie. So I didn't have a period then. Then I had Nellie. I was breastfeeding. I didn't have a period for about 3 months. I got 1 period and then I got pregnant 2 months after that. So really I haven't had a period in a really long time. And after I had my son, Alexander, we knew we are likely done having babies. 99% sure, maybe. I don't know. I go back and forth. I'm also recently postpartum, right? So like some days I'm like, more kids, and other days I'm like, never again. But anyway, I love my IUD. I was always gonna get it back in place, mainly for the period problem. Also great birth control, and it can stay in for 8 years now. So I'm like, this is perfect. I will die with an IUD in place. Like Mirena IUD, besties. I'm 11 weeks postpartum. So with my doctor, I was like, I want the Mirena IUD. So we went ahead and did it yesterday. And oh my gosh, the experience was drastically different. Okay, let's get into this. By the shape, can you tell what it is? Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. The new Chanel 25 in denim. Oh my gosh. It is so beautiful. This is gonna be so fun for spring, summer, and fall, honestly. It's so pretty. Okay, the best thing I did was get the size medium because I was going back and forth between getting the small or the medium. I'm so glad I got the medium. Honestly, I probably could have even gotten the large. And I love that it comes with a pouch. My Chanel 22 that has a pouch, I use the pouch for literally every single one of my bags. I can't wait to put bag charms on this. This looks so cool. And honestly, I'm gonna make this more about the IUD, but there it is inside. I can do another video if you guys wanna see it of like using this bag and what fits in it and all that stuff. So let me know if you're interested, but I'm obsessed. Okay, I have to leave for my nail appointment in 9 minutes, so let's finish up this video. So yesterday I went to my OBGYN for my postpartum visit. I also had to do my 2-hour glucose tolerance test and a hemoglobin A1C since I had gestational diabetes. I wanna make sure that I still didn't have diabetes or that I didn't develop type 2 diabetes because that's a risk factor of having gestational diabetes. Again, if you want a video on that, let me know. But I scheduled everything for the same day, so I only had 1 appointment. So I got there early to do the 2-hour glucose test and my blood work and then the IUD after. While I was waiting in the waiting room for my blood draw, after drinking my drink, my doctor came out and she's like, hey, I can do your IUD now. And we had scheduled to do it under ultrasound guidance. So I was like, crap, I hadn't taken my ibuprofen yet. So I quickly took my ibuprofen, then went back in the room and got undressed from the waist down. I got my little drape. She walked in, and in my mind, like the night before, I was so nervous for my IUD. I don't know why. I even brought in my like Oxy that I got after my C-section. I only took the Oxy once, but I still had some left over. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring it to the appointment in case I feel like I need to take an Oxy after the insertion of the IUD. and my sister was gonna pick me up anyway from the appointment. So I go in, like I said, got the drape, and she walks in. I was like, okay. I told her, I was like, I'm a little bit nervous for this. My experience before, it was really painful. And she was like, you're gonna do so good. Don't worry about it. We're gonna do it under ultrasound guidance. She told me that a lot of her patients, since she started doing it under ultrasound, have done very, very well and haven't complained of pain. So I'm like, okay, let's give it a go. So she puts in the speculum, and I was like, oh, are you gonna use the numbing spray? And she's like, you know what? I haven't been using it, and I haven't had people complain. She's like, do you want me to use it? And I was like, you know what? No, let's just do it. We're going in raw. Let's just do it. And so they started the ultrasound. Like, her ultrasound tech was already like, scanning my uterus. I know how to read ultrasounds. So I'm looking at the ultrasound. I'm like, oh, there's my cute little uterus. We measured how long it is. Meanwhile, my doctor's just like doing her thing. And then my doctor goes, okay, we're done. And I was like, what do you mean you're done? And she's like, no, your IUD's in place. And then I look at the screen again, and I was like, my IUD's in there. The whole time I was like even watching the ultrasound and like trying to I don't know, but it happened so quickly. And I was like, what do you mean you're done? She's like, the IUD's in. And I'm looking at the ultrasound. She's like, yeah, look, it's in the right spot. And they're like scanning. And I was like, I didn't feel anything. She's like, yeah, a lot of patients have been saying that. Like, I feel like the most uncomfortable part was the speculum going in. And that wasn't even uncomfortable, right? Like, to me. And I was like, what the heck? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I think having the probe and the ultrasound probe put pressure on the lower abdomen takes away from the pain. And I remember my REI attending in residency, whenever he would do endometrial biopsies or EMBs or do any sort of anything, like IUD, anything, he would always give his patients a cold ice pack and have them put a lot of pressure in their lower belly. And he'd be like, push hard, harder than you think you would, and hold that ice pack there. And I remember none of them complained of pain. He was onto something. And I'm like, why didn't I didn't make that association back then. So absolutely crazy. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. And then, so that was yesterday. So throughout the rest of the day yesterday, I had very, very light spotting. So I wore a panty liner and I was fine. And I would randomly be crampy here and there. But you guys, it was not bad at all. So now I'm like, I'm not in private practice anymore. So I haven't put in IUDs in a minute. But now I'm like, I'm gonna go to private practice back. I'm gonna go back to private practice at some point in my career. Just right now with my two little ones, I don't plan to because I love my schedule the way it is right now as just a OBGYN hospitalist. But when I do, I'm gonna start doing IUDs under ultrasound guidance. And if I don't have that available for whatever reason, have them put pressure here because I'm still shocked. Even today, my OB texted me today and she was like, how are you feeling after the IUD? And I was like, you wouldn't even know that I had it done. I feel spectacular. No cramping, nothing. And it's just wild to me. I don't know, I was so nervous before, but anyway, we're good to go. So that is my story. And yeah, my camera's about to die, so I'm gonna hop off. But I hope this wasn't too chaotic. I hope it made sense. I'm so excited about my new camera. So I hope the quality is great, that the sound is great. And I'm gonna start vlogging a lot more. That's why I got this camera. Let me show you the camera. It's just this little guy right here. Isn't it cute? So yeah, the plan is to do a couple more vlogs and bring you guys along to my life because I like to share. I like being open, honest. So I hope this little IUD story was helpful. All right. Okay. I love you guys and I will see you next week, hopefully with a new vlog. Bye.